Night times is
Okay,
usually.
today is the 28th of October, Monday, Money Monday. We do kick off this week with a very big, interesting week ahead. This is a pip talk session. We skipped the Sunday setup just to make sure that we could wait till market opens and actually provide you guys with proper setups, but more importantly, trades that we're looking at. So please, guys, have a look at my watch list. I will be removing it once we commence this call. Please do, of course, create the same list, have the same pairs so you can keep an eye out on what's going on. So we start today by looking at the EuroCAD. Now, from a weekly perspective, if we just clear the chart, we can see straight away that we do have areas beneath. Of course, if the market continues to move in a bearish momentum, then we can, or bearish direction, we can, of course, see the lower areas being targeted. So therefore, we would believe liquidity is below. We can also see equal highs above, okay? But with that being said, we just do want to follow the direction of the market. We are approaching the end of the month, so we do want to have a look and pay attention to the monthly candle. And the monthly candle showing you that a lot of higher prices have been rejected. So again, this does support us. This does support a bearish overall bias. When we look at a retail's perspective as well, we can also see that they have got somewhat of an uptrending trend line here. And of course, you know, for the fact that we can see this, we should also believe that should be broken. And if I was to draw out the line, I'm pretty sure we can see that this has been broken. So now when we look into the smaller time frames, the weekly, as I said, the liquidity here is below. And at the moment, of course, we do have the CAD interest rate coming out on Wednesday, okay, at 2 o'clock, CAD interest rate. Be sure, guys, to have your own MyFX book account and be ready and be on point. So yeah, areas to the downside, I would like to be taken out. However, you know, we don't know the circumstances of we don't know the outcome, okay? And that could, of course, mean that we could see price come up to clear these equal highs before price comes down. At the moment, we can see price is, of course, ranging, isn't really doing much. So until it gets out of this area, that's the only time when we'd really look to actually take a trade on this. But at the moment, I would really like to see the equal highs taken out. And of course, if the equal highs are taken out, I'd like it to really go the full 9 yards up to 88%. As long as it's between 88 and 62%, these are areas we can take a trade for a sell. And I would be looking to sell price down and hold it all the way down to the minus 61%. Okay. Moving on, Euro NZD, a nice trade we gave out last week. If you took this trade, you have definitely sat on over 300 pips. Let's make sure I'm correct here. Yep. This was a really nice trade that we sent out, okay? You've definitely been able to grow your account by at least 2% on this. So very well done to you if you took the trade and you've held. Now we are looking, of course, for a pullback, okay? When we look at the weekly time frame, we did have a bearish week last week. And of course, from the actual, from this candle here, we can see the higher price was rejected, and this really is where we actually caught the sell from. So now, of course, what we are looking for is a pullback. Naturally, the market needs to create itself. The market needs to rebalance itself, okay, so to speak. So because of that, we are looking for a pullback, and the pullback is around an area, again, between our 62 to 88%. Now, we haven't actually seen a 50% retracement on this whole swing down. So this is also another reason why we are more confident, okay, to wait and actually see a proper pullback come up around the 62 area, if not higher. Again, this would take out the equal high that is created. And if it goes higher, it would just take out the rest of the equal highs before the move comes down. It is an NZD bank holiday today. So we can expect the markets to be very slow. With that said, again, I would be looking to hold this trade and bring it down to the minus 61%. Okay, this trade gave us 300 pips already, so we can't expect the market to just chuck us out another 300 pips before it actually makes its disguise. and of course that would be a buy to sell. So I would like to see price really push up. I will not be trying to buy this pair. I'm only looking for the short. And of course, once it comes up to this area above 62%, I'll be sure to let everyone know. But more importantly, if you've got the same setup, it just means the only person you need to rely on is yourself. Next pair, Euro USD. Again, we did see this pair actually break heights last week, of course, due to the fundamental aspects that we had. Interest rate was also released. And of course, we have seen Euro USD break its bearish trend over here. Okay, ultimately, this is still bearish, right? But we have seen it break it. And because we've seen price break from over here, we should now be looking for a pullback to actually fill in balance. So if we look at areas and we identify areas of imbalance, for example, we can see imbalance right here. Okay, so these type of areas would be our areas of interest. Okay, and with that being said, we have of course seen market has come back down. It's making now lower lows and lower highs. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, high. So I would be in favor to see the market actually come down. Okay, come down to fill the imbalance at least before it looks to do anything else. Of course, we do have the dollar on the same day at 6 o'clock. We have the dollar interest rate. Okay, this Wednesday coming up. So again, what I am doing and what I suggest you all do is look at areas of liquidity, look at the target areas, look at your areas on the fib, your kill zone areas, and just match up where you believe the market could potentially go to. Because in order for the market to move in any direction, it will need to grab liquidity. So what you need to ascertain is where is the more relevant liquidity, and that can help you justify your trade, whether it's a buy or a sell. Okay, so I would like these areas above to be taken out. However, with that being said, we don't have the interest rate until Wednesday, so we could just potentially see price come down, fill this imbalance, and then actually range right back up, taking out this liquidity, grabbing liquidity, and then coming right back down. It's not much to ask, especially due to the pips on this is usually quite low. That's only 50 pips. Okay, if we go for the range up, it's 135 pips. It's not much for the market to go up and then come back down. But with that being said, our ultimate bias is still bearish. So for that, I'd be looking at a re-entry. I mean, this was potentially a nice re-entry here. Of course, if you've missed that, by the time you watch this, you've most likely missed this entry. But still, with that being said, now you just want to wait to see what happens after the imbalance gets filled. Does price go beneath? Does price come above? Sit back and actually analyze. Okay, Monday is a dead day to trade. So just sit back, see what the markets do, see what pictures, see what trends you can pick up, and clock the trends and trade with them. CAD Swiss. Okay, so we have CAD interest rate out, as I said, this Wednesday, 2 p.m. Now, what I am looking at very simply on this one, very nicely actually, this one is quite a nice setup. It's been accumulating for quite some time. And what I've done is actually seen that we have had a range of entries, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different entries we could have had on this pair for the move upwards. Now, this move up is over 300 pips. I think it's 400 pips. From 88, it could be 6. Okay, look at that. Almost 1,000 pips, right? However, from where price is at the moment, it's 600 pips. Okay, now I haven't entered into this trade, okay, and I won't enter into the trade unless we get a pullback, but I just want you guys to have a look at this pattern and clock this pattern, okay, because this pattern happens across every pair in different time zones, different time frames. This pattern will happen, okay, and because of that, it's for me, it's a lot easier to identify that this is a buy. And of course, now what I'm looking at is the areas which the buy could go up to. Now we've got a lot of liquidity above, over here, and then of course we've still got this this big imbalance gap from here down to here. So what I am looking for is for the imbalance to be filled. But in order to actually get into this trade, what I'm looking for is a pullback. Okay, now the pullback I'm looking for, bearing in mind, right, I could go from here to here, but the fact is the market may not come back that far. Okay, just because you've got a fib from one place to another, it doesn't mean the market is going to come back to exactly where you want it to come to. So realistically, for me to ask the market to come back down here may be too much to ask. So what I have done is I've gone into a smaller time frame. Okay, I've looked at the area of liquidity which was there. I've marked up the swing from here to here. Here is 50%, and because of that, it's now allowed me to put an alert there, which just simply means, look, if price comes beneath here, I will be alert, and of course, I will look to see a sign of rejection. If I see a sign of reversal, then I will be looking to catch the buy. So yeah, that's CAD Swiss. Put that back on so you guys can see. Oh, this low here to this high here. Be sure, guys, to copy the same setups. Okay, have your alert around this area. If price breaks that area, have a look to see what it does. Go into smaller time frames to see price rejection, to see some wicks, and of course that should give you a stronger confirmation to take the buy. CAD JPY, again, also another one. If we take this chart empty, okay, cool. So what we see, of course, is, again, we do see a bearish bias, okay? But what we have recently seen is that price has broken this bearish structure here. So because price has broken that, we do want to look now for a pullback, and that pullback, we want it to actually fill all areas of imbalance. However, due to the fact that the market is still very bullish right now, and we have had 3 bullish candles for weeks, 3 bullish weekly candles, we don't want to go against price action. Okay, we don't want to put the trade on just because we know that imbalance should be filled. We want to still watch what price does, and this is why we don't necessarily take a trade on a Monday, because what we want to see now is if price is going to break this equal high. Okay, it's broken here and it's grabbed that, granted. There's still some more money above in between this zone and also here above. So, you know, as well as above here. So we do want to have a look and just really take our time and figure out what the market wants to do. Okay, I've seen many a times before the market makes a nice U shape. Okay, the U shape the market makes is usually like this. Yeah, that's usually the shape it makes. So we could potentially see another U shape, but of course, if we don't see the U shape, that's fine. We just now know that it's a potential possibility to look out for. But ultimately, if I take off, if you can see the tools now, what you can see is, again, we are in a kill zone area. Okay, we're in the kill zone territory, and what we are looking at is what candle the market is actually going to play off of. Now, with that being said, again, areas of liquidity are above. Anywhere up to here and above would be areas that I would be sufficient to say, okay, within this area, market is doing what I want it to do. I'm going to look to take a sell. This would be the highest point, 88.6 would be the highest area. I am actually reacting and making my analysis valid off of this institutional candle here in the yellow box. Of course, I am looking to actually take the trade on the open as well as 50% of this candle. My open will be 0.05%, 0.5% risk, and the 50% will complete the other 0.5% risk. And then, of course, my stop loss will be above here. Okay, if the market breaks this area, then it's not doing what I want it to do, very simply. Okay. And sometimes, you know, part of being a trader is knowing when you're wrong. Part of being a trader is being able to change your mindset at any given time. So at the moment, what I am looking for, of course, is for price to come around eventually and fill these areas of imbalance, because we have had the structure broken here. But because the structure is broken, just maybe price is looking to stretch a tiny bit higher, okay, to grab liquidity before it looks to come down. Because ultimately, they are still buying to sell. Okay, every time we see the market going up or down, they're gearing up to do the opposite. So in this case, we want to see the market maybe push up a tiny bit more higher before it looks to come down. So yeah, that's CAD JPY. Keep your eyes on that. Of course, we've got interest rate decisions for both of them, for CAD and for JPY this week. AUD JPY, I spoke about this trade a few weeks ago. If you guys were able to catch this with me, you should now be up over 150 pips. Look at that. It's 300 pips. Okay. This was a nice setup. This was mentioned a while ago. And if you guys, those that's in our community, have actually stayed to monitoring our calls, who have actually seen the information, the education we've provided, this was a really nice trade. We had a mitigation zone down here in the red zone, which I'll remove now. And we had price react off of that. And literally price has just gone away. On a really higher time frame, on a monthly, I'm very bullish on this. Now, the chart looks very bearish, granted. But when you do your fib and when you mark things up, we're actually at an optimal trade entry area right here. And here could be a pivotal point where we see the market actually break all of the equal highs that it's had. So remember this call. I mean, it'll be on YouTube anyway. I would like to see AUD JPY. I'd like to see AJ really break 84, 8400, even 8000 more immediately, 8000. But yeah, so this is a long trade that I've held. I will be holding. And when we have a look at the chart, again, you know, areas such as the minus 61%, I would like to really be taken more immediately. But you can see there's a lot of equal highs that's been created, and I'd like for them to be taken out. So yeah, that's AUD JPY. A lot of trades, a lot of pairs for you guys to look at this week, for the simple fact that we do have a lot of news out this week. And this is a special Lit Pip Talk. We're bringing you a range of different pairs from all three of us, so enjoy. And that will be me. I'm done. Over to you, Jacob.
Hi there, guys. Yeah, just to build on what Vel's shown you lot already in regards to setups. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm just going to go through a couple to add, as there's a wide variety this week to look for. So USD CAD is one of my main focuses in regards to the news coming out, and with the interest rates on the Bank of Canada and also the Fed interest rates. So we should see some volatility this week with this pair. So right now, it's not reached, it's at an area where there's a bit of liquidity below. So prices since slowed down on the daily, you know, just waiting for this to play out a bit. I would like to see this liquidity grabbed. You know, it's about 60 pips, 50, 60 pips. So I would like to see it taken out before actually getting a move higher. I do favor a move higher because it didn't hit the targets we expected it to hit before we actually got a big enough sell. So I think it's coming to grab more liquidity before having reason to move up with equal highs here, and also imbalance and candles yet to be mitigated out of. So for me, I'm looking at this one for the week. You know, probably won't get a move today or an entry today. I would favor it to push down a bit more before we see anything. So keeping our eyes on this one. Yeah, I would like to see it come down just a bit more. It's not showing any signs of a reversal yet. So keeping an eye on it for, you know, another 50 pip move down, and then hopefully it starts to show signs of a reversal. So USD CAD, short and sweet. I won't really go into too much detail. But yeah, we should get a buy on this some stage this week. That's what I will be looking for. I'm going to talk about AUD USD again, as I do believe this is another setup that hasn't given us the full buy. I don't think it's finished buying. So it's created a double, equal high, and now we've had a pullback for the end of the last week, 3-4 days. So going off of the swing, we've got a 50% retracement. It's not really showing us that it's done coming down, because, you know, judging off the last two daily candles, it's given us signs of, you know, no one's really entered the market. Smart money is yet to enter this trade. So I do wish for price to come down lower and enter one of our kill zones, because we do have positions for them to get out of. We also have some imbalances in the market. So I do think this is going to be a buy. So I'm going to watch this one and update us in regards to another entry. So I actually caught this buy from here up until here. I took some profits. It was a good trade, but I did expect it to breeze past these highs, which it didn't. So, you know, just going off of the equal highs that's left, I don't think it's done going up. I just think it's an excuse to let the market breathe, retrace, and then get a better entry, get a better buy entry. So, yeah, not really expecting this to play out till midweek in regards to the interest rate. So, depending on what the interest rate is, we should see some volatility in this pair also. Another setup, last one I'm going to give you guys is gold. This one here is a bit wild in regards to, let me just get rid of these fibs. In regards to direction, gold was consolidating for a very long time, and then we finally got a push up, and then we got a move down. But I'm not convinced that it's done going up, because, you know, while it's designing all of this liquidity above with wicks, we did get moves down, but now it's just designing more liquidity in regards to sellers and bearish people entering the market, and it's not actually spiking above anything. So, you know, common sense would tell us that it would like to take out all sellers before actually becoming a sell. So I do expect price to go up to clear that imbalance, clear the liquidity before we get a big sell. So as you know, this will cause move the market and manipulate the market. So I do have alerts for be patient with this one for sure, because it is I would be swing trading this. This isn't a daily or 4-hour setup. This might take a week or two in order to get down here, depending on you know, how the market wants to move. But you know, we did notice that structure was broken to bearish, so we are in a bearish structure. I'm just not convinced it's ready to come down yet until we feel this imbalance. So I will be keeping a close eye on this, because, you know, we do know gold is worth the wait. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Be sure to update you on these setups. Have a great trading week.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to quickly show a lot of information there. I'm just going to quickly show a couple of setups I've been looking at. This will correlate with Jacob's AUD USD and USD CAD. So I'm looking at the AUD CAD. Obviously, we have the interest rate for the CAD this week. I'm just looking for a buy on the AUD CAD. I want to see this area here played with. Is there an imbalance area? There's also an area just above I have. I'm just watching to see a reaction, see something that I like to see when there's evidence of obviously them getting in. And then hopefully we can ride a buy up to here. It's about, I think, 120 pips. We can have a nice tight stop loss. I'd prefer to enter somewhere here around the 88,600, 88,800 level. I want to see this area taken. It could even come lower. I will be watching for that as well. Keep it real brief for you guys. There's another setup I just wanted to quickly show you that I caught last week, that I'm now looking for hopefully a retest, and then we can get back in again. Just to mention on this one quickly, there's a massive target below, just down here on the higher time frames, obviously 57,500. I mean, if we're going to get into this trade long term, hopefully that will be the long term target. But just to shorten things up a bit and show you what I've seen, we've got the imbalanced area here. We've got the imbalanced area here, so you can see price goes away for quite some time. And then when it comes back, we get a nice reaction when it fills the imbalanced area. We get a nice drop for about, so far was about a 60, 55 pip drop so far. What I'm looking to now see, if I just take this off, is I want to see price come back up into this area here for maybe another entry for the long-term sell, which will be, obviously, we've got some short-term targets here. And of course, that long-term one I showed you. So lots of things to look out for this week. Lots of news that will manipulate the markets. So just remain patient. There will be a lot of opportunities this week. I can guarantee that. But just remain patient. And when you see what fits, enter the trade. That'll be all for this week on Lit Capital.
Remember, guys, every day is money day.